Hello and welcome to Recipe Creepypasta. We have, should we call you ThatNinjaThere, William, Bill, Will?
Your call. I'm known on your channel as that ninja there.
That Ninja there.
Technically, my pen name is William Bain.
Yeah.
So you can call me Bill for just for shorthand's sake. Whenever you and I are conversing,
That sounds good.
I'm not over here. It just makes sense because that ninja there is kind of a mouthful. I will admit.
Yeah, well, welcome to a completely new series on the channel. If it's appreciated, maybe we should do more. I think this sounds like a good and fun idea. And I would like to say we got the idea from the big channel Creepcast and Haunted Router. So thank you very much for the idea. Well, what are we doing today?
Reading stories and talking shit on it.
Yeah, totally. This story, Penpal.
You know what this kind of reminds me of, and what doing that other podcast reminded me of?
No, what?
Did you ever watch? I think it was like Space Theater 3000 or something like that, where they would put on like a really crappy B-rated movie, and then they would actually have a little audience, and you would see their shadow cutouts at the bottom of the screen, and they would just be talking trash on the entire movie. Like there's an astronaut and two robots. And the entire time, they're just talking trash.
That sounds awesome.
And it was hilarious.
Well,
and
anyways.
It was a really bad movie. Go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Tangent.
Well, we are going to be here for a while, probably. These stories are pretty long. So in the end, we will probably be grumpy as men that want to die. Unless the story is absolutely crazy good. I have not actually read through the stories myself in quite a while, even though we did the series and are doing the series right now. I just sent in the script. I didn't even watch through it myself. I just cut out your lines and that's it. But I read the story back in the days, long back. I remember watching a Swedish YouTuber named Joy. She used to narrate these 6-parted stories, and the 6-year-old me was fucking terrified. Now I sat shaking in my bed like because I remember this story as it's not a creepypasta. It's very 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 real life like the most stories like Jeff the Killer and Laughing Jack and stuff. That's like monster and supernatural shit, and like this is actually very traumatizing and actually a very tragic story as I remember it. I remember I also cried when I was a little when I read when I heard parts 5 and 6. That was crazy. Whew. Anyways, I will be doing characters, so I will be doing the hashtags. What do you say? The character lines.
Quotations.
Yeah. And he will narrate the stories, and we will cut in some discussions and stuff through some paragraphs or some. If we have something to say. And well, let's jump into Footsteps, the first of 6 parts. Let's see.
Hold on, I got a call.
Oh, okay. All right, we're back. Let's start up.
My apologies. Alrighty then. This is long, so I apologize for that. I've never had to tell this story with enough detail to actually explain it all the way. But it is true, and it happened. I was about 6 years old.
Wait, 6 years old. He has these many memories when he's 6.
I cannot say the same, but I do know people who have childhood memories. I myself have a complicated history, so I do not.
Okay.
In a quiet room, if you press your ear against the pillow, you can hear your heartbeat. As a kid, the muffled, rhythmic beats sounded like footsteps on a carpeted floor. And so as a kid, almost every night, just as I was about to drift off to sleep, I would hear these footsteps. I would be ripped back to consciousness. I thought for some, my brain was saying "riped" for a second.
Right. Oh, right.
You see, this is why I like the voice acting part and not the reading live part. Because it's just like, wait a second, my brain is having a moment of dyslexia. I would hear these footsteps and I would be ripped back to consciousness, terrified. For my entire childhood, I lived with my mother in a fairly nice neighborhood that was in a transitional phase. People of low economic means were gradually moving in, and my mother and I were two of these people. We lived in the kind of house you see being transported in two pieces on the interstate, but my mom took good care of it. There were a lot of woods surrounding the neighborhood. There were a lot of woods surrounding the neighborhood that I
Yeah.
would play in and explore during the day. But at night, as things often do as a kid, it took on a more sinister feeling. This, coupled with the fact that, due to the nature of of our house, there was a fairly large crawl space
Fill my mind.
filled my mind with imaginary monsters and inescapable scenarios, which would consume my thoughts when I was awoken by the footsteps.
Okay, I must. It's I believe this story is very well written. Um,
Yeah, I just my is getting in the way.
yeah, no problem at all. But like, I like this story this far. Um, I was about to say
I mean,
something, but I don't remember what I was about to say.
I would say it's a fairly generic introduction, introducing
Yeah.
you to the area, introducing you to the house. There are woods, there's a crawl space. I was an imaginative kid.
Yeah, exactly. It's I like the fact that they are explaining kind of in detail how the neighborhood looked. I'm interested.
I mean, it's a very good uh, literary version of showing instead of telling. You just kind of like, yeah, no, this is the area, and you're already kind of coming up with, and then it says the whole imaginative thing. So like, you're already kind of coming up with your own thoughts and ideas, which is
Yeah.
always good. It's always good to let the audience come up with some of their own thoughts.
Yeah,
Let them
exactly,
interject
exactly.
every now and then. That's how you get some of the best discussions, some of the
Oh,
best
yeah.
interpretations.
Oh, yeah,
You don't want
definitely.
to hold their hand the entire time.
Mhm.
Anyways, I told my mom about the footsteps and she said I was just imagining things. Persisted enough that she blasted my ears with water from a turkey baker once just to placate me. That sounds like a great way of making your kid go deaf. Since I thought that would, since I thought that would help. Of course it didn't. Despite all the creepiness and footsteps, the only weird thing that ever happened was that every now and then I would wake up on the bottom bunk despite having gone to sleep on the top. But this wasn't really weird since I'd sometimes get up to piss or get something to drink and could remember just going back to sleep on the bottom bunk. I'm only a child, so it didn't matter. This would happen once or twice a week, but waking up on the bottom bunk wasn't so too terrifying. But one night, I didn't wake up on the bottom bunk.
Okay. So sleepwalking story.
I mean, yeah, no, that would be like, no, like the thing that caught my attention was blasting the ears with a turkey
Yeah,
baster.
what the
Like,
fuck? Whoa, wait.
my immediate thought was like, that sounds like a great way of
Yeah.
blowing your kid's eardrums.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, exactly. I was about to say that. That sounds like a very perfect way to make your kid deaf.
Like, I mean, it's definitely gonna stop him hearing any footsteps whenever he goes to sleep. Like,
stop him. Oh.
wow.
Yeah, but it's a well introduction. Well introduction.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Where were we?
I believe I scrolled to the proper spot.
I had
Yes.
heard the footsteps.
I had heard the footsteps, but was gone. I heard the footsteps, but was too far gone to be woken up by them. And when I was awoken, it wasn't from the sound of the footsteps or a nightmare, because I was cold, really cold. When I opened my eyes, I saw stars. I was in the woods. I sat up immediately and tried to figure out what was going on. Hey, Donnie Darko. I thought I was dreaming, but that didn't seem right, though neither did me being in the woods. There was a deflated pool float right in front of me. One of those ones shaped like a shark. This only added to the surreal feeling. But after a while, it seemed like I wasn't going to just wake up because I wasn't asleep. I stood up to orient myself, but I didn't recognize these woods. I played in the woods by my house all the time, and so I knew them really well, but these weren't the same woods. And how could I get out? I feel like there should be some punctuation there.
Yeah.
I had stepped on a thorn. By the light on the moon, I could see they were everywhere. I look by, you can see thorns in the light of the light.
Thorns. Okay.
I've lived in the country a lot of my life, and I didn't see thorns for jack.
Where is
Like,
this kid? Wait, how did he
yeah, no,
how
like,
did he get here?
What thorns are glowing in the moonlight? Those are caltrips, my dude. Like, someone's sprinkling your yard with bits of barbed wire.
Wait, it says I looked at my other foot, but it was fine. Both foots were fine. Wait, how did he shit? How did he even get there? Or if he didn't step,
and I wasn't even dirty.
how did he even get there?
Teleported.
I guess
I
someone.
cried for a little bit and then stood back up.
I guess someone carried him out there.
Right. I didn't know which way to go, so I just picked a direction. I resisted the urge to call out, since I wasn't sure I wanted to be found by who or what might be out there. I've seen enough horror movies.
Yep, definitely.
I walked for what seemed like hours. I tried to walk in a straight line, and tried to course correct when I tried to take detours. But I was a kid, and I was afraid. There weren't any howls or screams, and only once did I hear any noise that scared me. It sounded like a crying baby. I think now that it was just a cat, but I panicked.
Wait,
I
what?
ran. I mean,
I'm
have
sorry.
a cat. I have a cat, and don't get me wrong, like, having a cat and seeing the glowing eyes floating off in the distance down the hallway, I get why people believe in goblins back in the past. If I'm sitting there in the candlelight and I just see glowing orbs in a bush and I reach my hand in and all of a sudden I'm getting back all these cat scratches, I'm thinking some kind of goblin.
Yeah, I guess.
So,
But like,
yeah, no.
like I don't understand how how they mix up a cat and a baby.
I've heard that people have said that cats started meowing to mimic babies crying.
Ooh.
I have a cat.
That's
I've
fucking
never
terrifying.
Yeah, it was a way for them to manipulate us into taking care of them. Like,
Oh,
it's weird.
Geez, I'm getting goosebumps. Holy shit.
Yeah, no, there's some weird ghost stories surrounding cats, and that's just one of them. Like, I have a cat, and I've never heard a baby's voice when my cat meows. I mean, but I've always
he's
heard,
not trying to manipulate you.
Yeah, but I've always heard people liking meows to babies crying.
Yeah,
It
I don't
is a
understand
weird
that.
phenomenon. I don't understand it myself, but it's all over the place. I think even Pet Cemetery played around with that a little bit.
Yeah.
Was it Pet Cemetery or
Yeah, I think so.
something about I remember a baby and a cat in a carriage.
I think that was
I think
Pet Cemetery. I remember that too.
Yeah, it's been around a few times.
Yep.
Anywho,
Anyways.
tangents are fun, aren't they?
Yeah.
I was only 10 feet from where I had woken up.
Oh.
Oh, no, I think I had...
You skipped a bunch.
Sounded like a crying baby. We got distracted. Now I think it was... I ran, veering in a different direction. Here we go. To avoid big thicks of bushes and collapsed trees. And as I was paying close attention to where I was where I stepped, because by that point my feet were in pretty bad shape. I mean, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I paid too much attention to where I was stepping and not to where those steps were leading. Because not long after hearing the cry, I saw something that filled me with a kind of despair I had never experienced since. It was a full flow.
He's running circles.
Yeah, no, I have a horrible sense of direction, and that is one of I will admit, that taps into a primal fear of mine. I cannot really fault you for that one.
Yep.
I play Minecraft, and I go in circles all the time. I'm like, I was trying to go in a straight line. It is horrible. I was only 10 feet from where I'm looking.
I think that's one of my biggest fears in this world, actually, to go out in the woods and not find my way back. I was missing in the woods some years back. I remember that because I needed to sleep outside, but apparently it was just a dream because I woke up in my bed sweating.
Nice. I once got lost going in a straight line.
Oh.
So, me and my old boss, way back in the day, we were traveling from one town to the next. And he goes, Bill, drive straight. I'm going to take a nap. So I drove straight. And he goes to sleep. And he wakes up about an hour or 2 hours later, and he looks around. Bill, Where are we? I don't know. You told me to go straight. He pulls up the GPS on his phone and starts looking around and goes, we were supposed to take an exit back there about an hour back. I'm like, that wasn't straight. That was to the right. You said straight. I went straight. He goes, turn around.
Damn.
So, yeah, no, I have legitimately gotten lost going in a straight line, following directions.
Oh,
Like,
that's a
yeah,
damn
no.
good story.
Yeah, no, that's not a story. That's life.
Yeah, that's life.
Anyways,
Anyways,
this wasn't magic or some supernatural.
you missed. I
space
was
thing.
only 10 feet from where I woken
I
up.
was only 10 feet from where I'd woken up.
Thank you.
This wasn't magic or some supernatural space bending. I was lost up until the moment I had thought more about getting out of the woods and how I got in. But being back at the beginning caused my mind to swim. I wasn't even sure that these were my woods. I'd only been hoping that they were. Had I run in a huge circle around the spot, or did I just get turned around and start making my way back? How was I going to get out? At the time, I thought the North Star was just the brightest star. And so I looked and found the brightest one and followed it.
Kid
that's
logic.
fair. My instinct is the moon or the sun. Keep it either on your left or your right, depending on how late or early it is. And
But you imagine this is a 6-year-old child. I don't think
Yeah,
he's.
yeah, no, that's
I
fair.
don't think he has the orientation logic in his brain
to be
yet.
fair, I can't really claim I knew what the North Star was at the 6th. So yeah, no power to
Nope.
him. Maybe this kid was a Boy Scout.
Damn,
but-
yeah, he must have been very smart. The North Star.
But-
Yeah, let's follow it.
Yeah,
That
like,
leads
the
me
only thing I
home.
can find is Orion's belt, and that's thanks to Men in Black. Actually, I found the brightest star, went and followed it. Actually, things started looking more familiar, and when I saw the ditch, a dirt ditch my friends and I would have dirt clod wars in, I knew I had made it out. By that point, I was walking really slowly because my feet hurt so much, but I was so happy to be close to home that I broke into a light jog. When I actually saw the roof of my house over the neighborhood, lower set house, over the neighboring lower set house. I didn't see the. I set out a light. I let out a light sob and ran faster.
Okay.
I just wanted to be home. I had already decided that I would say anything because I had already decided that I wouldn't say anything because I had no idea what I could possibly say. I would get back in the house somehow, clean up, and get in bed. My heart sunk as I ran the corner, and my house came fully into view.
Okay.
I mean,
So
yeah,
he somehow the North Star led him home, I guess.
I mean, power to him. Like,
Well, wait.
better, like,
I'm still hooked up on this idea of why I can't remember. I can't remember the story fully, and I can't remember really why is he out there? How did he get out?
I mean, that's why I kind of referenced Donnie Darko. Like, that's kind of how that movie opens, where he just wakes up in the middle of a golf course, no idea how he got there, and then I think eventually they kind of mentioned
the kid
he
had a party.
sleepwalks.
The kid had a
So,
party.
Yeah, no, it's a very common trope to just kind of have a sleepwalker wake up somewhere and somehow they manage to avoid all the dangers that
But how-
would have come from getting there
Around
in the first place.
everywhere
And
there was
as they're
thorns.
leaving, suddenly they're finding all the thorns and getting caught on
Oh,
all
yeah.
the things that they avoided in the.
But what about the
sleep.
pool float?
What?
The pool float. What about
Yeah.
it? What the fuck was the
it's
shark
just,
doing out there?
Yeah, no, it was just a creepy thing to find out in the middle of the woods. You know, like a stairwell or a door frame out in the middle of the woods. This guy decided that a pool float out in the middle of the woods is kind of creepy because why the fuck is a pool float out here?
Yep. But it has to
mean,
make sense
I would've-
somehow.
I might have maybe made it a little bit more substantial, maybe like a boat or some kind of thing that's just truly there isn't water here for miles. Like, I don't understand why any kind of fucking thing like this would be here.
I'm very interested in something completely else. My camera is still working. How?
Because it's the power of the show. It decided to get with the program, right?
Yep.
It's like, all right, cameras are rolling. Let's actually stop fucking around. I need to stop cussing because it's gonna make editing a nightmare.
Yeah, I don't think this needs editing really. I have all the editing power I have in this OBS studio, so nothing. I can pause. I can do whatever I fucking want, and I don't have the program and storage enough to edit a 4-hour video. So I think this will be just as it is. I will record it. I will edit a little bit in YouTube Studios, but more. I think it's good as it is.
Fair enough.
Anyways, every light in the house was on.
We'll see if that trend continues. Every light on the house was on. I knew my mom was up, and I knew I would have to try to explain where I had been, and I couldn't even figure out where to start. My run became a jog, which became a walk. I mean, I ran out of breath pretty easily myself. I saw her silhouette through the blinds, and although I was worried about how to explain things to her, that didn't matter to me at the point. I walked up this couple of steps to the porch and put my hand on the doorknob and turned. Right before I pushed it open, 2 arms wrapped around me and pulled me back. I screamed as loud as I could.
Mom, help me, please, Mom! Are you trying to take my part of this show?
No, autopilot. I just can't. I didn't notice the quotations.
You're trying to be the big star. You're trying to take everything from me here.
Nope. I am trying to control my stutter as I read, and it is
good.
Causing me to just go tap 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 tap.
Okay. Anyways,
the feeling of being so close to being safe and then being physically pulled away from it filled me with a kind of dread that is, even after all these years, indescribable.
Yeah, I can understand that. Being 6 years old and being pulled away from the only safety you have in your life is, that's kind of dark.
Yeah, no,
I don't even understand how he kept being so calm during this whole story. That's the most weird thing I've imagined.
That's the fun thing about story protagonists is they always seem to have a very odd mental state. Like they're always like whatever comes at them, just kind of they take it and then, okay, this is an eldritch horror. Great, eldritch horrors exist now. Moving on.
Hello, Mr. Monster in the Woods. Hope you're doing good.
It's always the people around the story protagonist that has
freaks
the
out.
Major freak out and can't accept that these things exist and denies.
I just need to say, for a future episode, we have to read Jeff the Killer if you haven't done it yet.
Yeah, I'm down.
When I was a child, I loved that story because I was scared for life. I was scared for.
Obviously,
I was scared by pretty much.
Every time we do a recording.
Yeah, maybe I do. Anyways, but reading it back now, I look at it and feel like this was written by a 13-year-old, definitely. You know, I'm not hating on the writing style. The theme is good. Perfect. Not. I can't see any bad in that. But the story itself, it's so much worse than I remembered as a child. So we have to do that. Anyways. The door.
The door I had been torn away from opened, and a flash of hope shot through my heart. But it wasn't my mom. It was a man, and he was enormous. I thrashed around and kicked at the shins of the person holding me, while also trying to get away from the person who had just come out of my house. I was scared, but I was also furious.
Let me go! Where is she? Where's my mom? What did you do to her? Thank you.
I hope that you cut.
Thank you.
I hope your mic picked that up because my speakers cut out while you were doing that. As my throat stung from screaming and I was drawing in another breath, I became aware of a sound that had been present for longer than I perceived it. Honey. Oop.
No. Honey, please calm down. I've got you.
It sounded like my mom.
Oh, is that how your mom sounds? Damn.
I mean,
you got a hot mom.
I guess that would make her a hot Swedish mom. So there is definitely a category on a couple of the websites for that very specific category, for that very specific combination.
And by the way, the next story on this Penpal story is released tomorrow. This time, when this Video is released. That video has probably already been released. But part 4 maps is released tomorrow. If you want to check it out.
I've been kind of watching them as they show up. It's fun to. I try to avoid reading too much of the story so that I can hear everyone else's.
Oh
and
yeah.
not know what they're going to say.
That's a really smart idea, actually.
And so it gets me into a little bit of trouble because I feel like I might have trouble matching everyone else's emotions because I'm not reading too much before and after dialogue.
Yeah.
But it's also made this enjoyable for me.
Anyways. I'm very happy, by the way, that my recording has worked this far, as it seems now. Maybe if I watch this recording back, the 4-hour video that it will probably end up being, and the voice and everything is just fucked. I would fucking kill myself. Oh my gosh, I would be so mad. Please don't do that to me. Please, computer. Please don't do that to me. Okay, continue.
The arms loosened and set me down, and as man approaching me blocked out the porch light, I think there's missing a the. As the man approaching me blocked out the porch light with his head, I noticed his clothes. It was a cop.
Oh.
I turned to the face.
I turned to the face.
I turned to face the voice behind me and saw that it really was my mom. Everything was okay. I began to cry, and the three of us went inside.
I'm so glad you're home, sweetie. I was so worried I'd never see you again.
At that point, she was crying too.
I'm sorry. I didn't know what happened. I just wanted to come home. I'm sorry. No, wait, child voice. I'm so sorry. I didn't know what happened. I just wanted to come home. I'm sorry. That's the voice I'm going to use from now on.
Fair enough. My speakers didn't even pick it up, so I had to just wait for your mouth to stop.
Can't you hear me?
No, I can hear you, but whenever you start doing some of your more eccentric voices, so
yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how the video comes out.
Yeah, okay.
Because some of these I might not hear until which just really goes back to what we were just talking about. I'm not gonna get to hear everything until it actually gets released.
Yeah.
So, fun for me.
Anyways, there's a more line. It's okay. Just don't ever do that again. I'm not sure me or my shins could take it.
A little laughter broke through my sobs, and I smiled a bit.
Well, I'm sorry for No, wait.
Well, I'm sorry for kicking you, but why do you have to grab me like that?
It's still you.
Oh, wait. I need to scroll down. Shins could take it. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. I want you in my room. Shit, we're going to get copyright striked. Let's see.
Or did you read all of that in the same voice? Because I didn't hear anything you read.
A little.
Am I on? I picked up
broke.
with the
Well, I'm sorry for kicking you like that. I was just afraid that you'd run away again.
I was confused.
What do you mean?
Hey, I heard that one. And we're still going.
Oh,
we found your note on your pillow.
She said, and pointed at a piece of paper that the police officer was sliding across the table. I picked up the note and read it. It was a running away letter. It said that I was unhappy, never wanted to see or hear any of my friends again. The police officer exchanged a few words with my mom on the porch while I stared at the letter. I didn't remember writing a letter. I didn't remember anything about any of this. But even if I sometimes went to the bathroom at night and didn't remember, or even if I could have gone into the woods on my own, even if all that could have been true, the only thing I knew at this point was, this isn't how you spell my name.
You took my line again.
Oh,
This isn't how you spell my name. I didn't write this letter.
I mean,
damn!
Wouldn't the mother also know that that's not how you spell the kid's name?
Yeah, but no, I think he has a special way. I also had a special way. I did my name back in the days, and I always knew when I or someone else wrote my name. And I understand that, and that's crazy actually. Wait, so he actually got carried out by someone? Someone wrote a note and put it on his pillow, and put him in the woods.
Drop him off in the middle of the woods for him to find his way back.
Why? Why? What? What? Why put? Okay, so he just let the kid go out into the woods and let him go home again. Was it just to scare him? To like
I'm not
get him
going
into
to
his life?
lie. I'm starting to understand why some movies based on creepypastas aren't all that good. Like
Yep.
they
Yep.
have a B-rated quality, but the writing leaves much to question.
But I don't have any problem with the writing or just the story itself. I just wonder like we'll probably get to know that later on in the
Or maybe it's
stories.
the payoff at the end.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
they all this build up for a lackluster finish.
Yeah, but like
I'm really trying not to make any innuendos there.
this far, I love this story. As I remember,
I mean,
this was supposed to be a standalone story. The writer just wrote this as a standalone story, but he got so much positive reviews from people in the comments, and he decided to continue and making it into a series, and that's kind of fun, I think.
I mean, power to him. Like, I have a book published and still not a single actual sale, so he's gotten more traction than I've got, so I can't talk too much shit.
Yeah. But like, wow. Yeah, I don't. I love. I like this story this far. It's not much have happened, but it's a great build up.
It's a very much basically a sleepwalker's experience. They wake up in the middle of the woods and no clue what happened. Like,
Yeah.
I've seen a few movies pull off that trope. Donnie Darko is the most famous that I can really think of, which is why it's the first thing that comes to mind and why I'm keep talking about it.
Yeah.
Probably gonna end up getting it stuck in my head.
Yeah. Anyways, wow. Okay. I think that was the shortest of all stories, though. And we have recorded for 30 minutes, so that's fun. We will be here for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, let's see. We jump into balloons. The next story. If you can click the link.
I believe I did, but for some reason it switched over my tabs as well. There
Well,
we go. I can see your ugly mug.
I'll just I'll go to the toilet quick. Be back in a second or two. All right, we're back. Let's start up balloons.
All right, Danny, don't you want a balloon? I mean, come on. Like anytime you hear a balloon, you got to make some kind of it reference.
Yep.
I mean, I could have asked if it floated, but you know.
You can. Oh, go fuck yourself. Yeah. Oh, I fucking love that movie. I think we talked about that in the ranking video.
Yeah, I believe it was discussed.
Yep. Well,
ready for round 2.
Let's go.
Oh wow, 15 years ago was when this was written. I just now noticed the date.
Yep.
A couple of days ago, I posted a story called Footsteps here on No Sleep. There were a number of questions that made me curious about certain details about my childhood, and so I spoke with my mother. Exacerbated by my questions, she said,
"Oh,
why don't you just tell them about the goddamn balloons if they're so interested?"
Oh wait, I see her as a crackhead. Wait.
Why don't you tell them about the goddamn balloons if they're so fucking interested?
Alrighty then. As soon as she said that, I remembered so much about my childhood that I had forgotten. This story will provide some greater context for the previous story, which I think you should read first.
Okay.
Though the order isn't of vital importance. Reading that story first will put you in my place more effectively, since I remembered the events of Footsteps first.
Oh, okay. So this is a sequel afterwards.
It's effectively a chronological thing as the narrator remembers it.
Okay. Yeah.
Which, they had a great setup for what's the term? An unreliable narrator.
Yeah.
The shame that, well, I don't know, but it would have been it's a missed opportunity.
Yep. Well, continue.
If you have questions or anything, feel free to ask, and I'll try to answer them. Also, both stories are long, so heads up on that. I'm just hesitant to leave out, and I'm just hesitant to leave out any details that might be important. When I was 5 years old now.
Ooh. Okay,
I
so
went to an
1 year
elementary school.
earlier.
Oh yeah, 1 year previous. I mean, those repressed memories, they're a bitch, ain't they?
Yeah.
When I was 5 years old, I went to an elementary school that, from what I've come to understand, was really adamant about the importance of learning through activity. It was part of a new program designed to allow children to rise at their own pace, and to facilitate this, the school encouraged teachers to come up with really inventive lesson plans. Each teacher was given the latitude to create his or her own themes, which would run for the duration of the grade, and all the lessons in math, reading, etc., would be designed in the spirit of the theme. These themes were called groups. There was a space group and a sea group and an earth group and a group I was in, and the group I was in, community. Sounds like a social experiment.
Yep.
But hey, what are schools but social experiments paid for by the government?
Yes, that's actually very true.
In the kindergarten in this country, you don't learn much except how to tie your shoes and how to share. So most of it isn't very memorable.
Yep.
I only remember two things very clearly. I was the best at writing my name the right way. And the
Ah,
balloon project.
we see. The balloon project.
Come float with me.
Which was really the hallmark of the community group, since it was a pretty clever way to show how community functioned at a really basic level. I mean, you're not shaking the social experiment accusation. You've probably heard of this activity. On one Friday, I remember it being Friday because I was excited about the project and it being at the end of the week.
Oh, this is the Penpal stuff.
Towards the beginning of the year. I mean, those school memories.
The
I really need to stop clicking that right.
Wait, are you in school when you're 5? Oh, wait, he said kindergarten. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm
He
stupid.
said kindergarten, so.
Yep, I'm stupid. Continue.
I guess preschool, and I kind of had a late birthday, so I was older than most of the kids around me because I had to wait for my age to catch up. It was a
me
weird
too.
thing. So, yeah, no, I had the opposite experience. So maybe this
Okay.
kid got the other end of that.
Yeah.
Where was I? You probably heard of this activity towards the beginning of the year. We walked into the classroom in the morning and saw that there was a fully inflated balloon tied off with a string taped to each of our desks. Sitting on each of our desks was a marker, a pen, a piece of paper, and an envelope. The project was to write a note on paper, put it in the envelope, and attach it to the balloon, which we could draw a picture on if we wanted. Most of the kids started fighting over the balloons because they wanted different colors, but I started on my note, which I had thought a lot about. I mean, main character syndrome. Everyone else was doing this thing, and I was doing my own thing.
Yeah, but that's not so weird. It's a story about the narrator.
Yeah, that's fun. I know. Just taking time to poke fun while I scroll.
Yep.
And I scroll too far, of course.
Oh.
All the notes had to follow a loose structure, but we were allowed to be creative within those boundaries. This sounds like a fun creative writing thing.
Yeah, this is actually funny. I had a pen pal back in the days. You would usually.
Oh, that's what this is, a pen pal?
Yeah. You attached a letter to a balloon and let it far off in the distance.
Oh, yeah, no, my school did not do this.
My school didn't either, but I did it on my free time.
Yeah, no. I live in America. We expect too many nefarious individuals to get a hold of those letters.
Oh.
Hi, you found my balloon.
No,
What did
that's
you wanna
me.
read?
Hi, you found my balloon. My name is
Name.
and I attend to
Blank.
elementary school. You can keep the balloon, but I hope you write me back. I like Mighty Max, exploring building forts, swimming, and friends. What do you like? Write me back soon. Here's $1 for the mail.
On the dollar I wrote.
4
4 stamps, I
stamps.
guess.
Yep.
I was wondering, should I it's just 2 words right across the front, which my mom said was unnecessary, but I thought it was genius, so I did it.
I
mean,
love this
yeah,
story.
no, this is definitely a practice that would have died with the age of the internet and child snatching.
Yeah, this is probably going to be a child abduction thing.
Yeah, no, like that just sounds like a child abduction 101. Hi, my name is. I go to this school. And I
Oh,
like these
here,
things."
here, feel free to go and kidnap me.
Like, wow, Yeah, no, this. Wow, 15 years ago was a different age.
Yep.
Ugh.
This is stuff they actually did
The
back in the days.
Oh, this is even worse. The teacher took a Polaroid of each of us with our balloons and had put them in the envelope with our letter.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
at this point, you might as well just auction them off. Here's the fucking price tag.
Like
Like, wow.
here's the address to our houses. Come and visit us whenever you
Yeah.
want to.
Yeah, no, like, here's the keys to my house and my parents' schedule while I'm at it. Like, what the? Wow.
If you want to meet me alone, come at this
Oh.
time.
You can meet in the woods at the pool float.
Wow, that is horrible. Like, that's the scary part of this story to me
Yeah.
so far.
Oh.
They also included another letter that I assume explained the nature of the project and sincere appreciation for any participation in writing back, and sending photos of their city, of course, their city
Mm-hmm.
or their neighborhood.
Neighborhood, of course.
Yeah,
Take
no,
a picture of the car's
Filter those photos.
of the car's
Filter those
license plate.
Oh my god. That was the whole idea, to build a sense of community without having to leave the school and establish safe contact with other people. Seemed like a fun idea.
It is a fun idea, but like it maybe not maybe not for 5-year-olds in a school.
Maybe not with the way this one was approached.
Mm.
Like, yeah, no, like the attaching to the balloon, giving that particular amount of detail.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, that
Oh.
one's scary.
Oh yeah.
Over the next couple of weeks, the letters started to roll in. Most came with pictures of different landmarks. Each time a letter would come in with the teacher would pin to the picture on a big wall map, and we put up a big wall map we put up showing whether the letter had come from and how the balloon had traveled. It was a really smart idea. Because we had actually looked forward to coming to school to see if we had gotten our letter. For the duration of the year, we had only one day a week where we could write back to our pen pal or another student's pen pal in case our letter hadn't come in yet. Mine was
Okay.
one of the last to arrive. I mean, yeah, gotta make everyone fair. Can't let anyone feel left out.
Yep.
When I had come down to the teacher approached me and handed me an envelope. I must have looked so excited because as I was about to open it, she put her hand in mine to stop. She put her hand on mine to stop me and said,
Please don't be upset.
I didn't understand what she meant. Why would I be upset now that my letter had come? Initially, I was mystified that she would even know what was in the envelope. But now I realize, of course, the teacher had screened the contents. I mean, I would hope.
Yeah, I would hope
To make sure
to.
that there was nothing obscene. But all the same, how could I be disappointed? When I opened the envelope, I understood. I mean, yeah, no.
There
like,
was no letter. Oh, that's so
This
sad.
is one of those things that the age of the cell phone, the age of the selfie, the age of social media, just this is one of those things.
This
that
is the old social media.
Yeah, this is one of those things like, this is familiar in all the worst ways. And there was no letter.
Did you never do this? Did you do this as a child? Pen pals?
No. The closest I had were like video games like RuneScape. And I had my account stolen like 3 times, so that actually killed a lot of my enjoyment of online multiplayer experiences, which is why I've been a recluse even in the online world.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, believe it or not, you and most of the voice acting community that I've been reaching out to is the first community that is online that I've actively been reaching out to.
Yeah.
So
We appreciate that.
yeah, no, this has been an interesting experience. The only thing in the envelope was a Polaroid, but I couldn't really make out what it was. I mean, if it's fuzzy and standing tall, you might want to throw it away.
Yep.
It looked like a patch of desert, but it was too blurry to decipher. It appeared as if the camera had been moved while the picture was being taken. There was also no return. There was no return address, so I couldn't even write back if I wanted to. I was crushed.
Wait, how did they get the mails back? Oh,
He,
oh
he
yeah,
wrote
oh
the
yeah. They sent to the
he wrote
school.
the school's address.
Yeah,
and
right.
So at
Okay.
least they took. There was at least that level of security. It went to the school
Oh, yeah.
instead of their personal house. But still, the Polaroid, pull up to the school and then follow. Like that is just.
Ugh.
The school year passed on, and the letters had stopped coming in for nearly all the other students. After all, you can only continue written correspondence with a kindergartner for so long. I mean, unless you were very
Yeah, unless you are
questionable
very
individual.
exactly what I was about to say.
Or you also have a kindergartner, and you're like, here's a kid, right?
Here's
to
a
this.
kid, right to that one.
I mean, yeah, no, like it'd be great if a homeschool kid got a hold of that. Like,
Yeah.
Could you imagine the conversation? Everyone, including myself, had lost interest in the letters almost completely. Then I got another envelope. And so my excitement was rejuvenated, and I reveled in the fact that I was still getting a letter when most of the other pen pals had abandoned. You know, the fact that he used the word reveled, I'll give him that one. Like, this is some good, choice in words
yeah.
for what was probably a teenager. So yeah,
I remember that the narrator is supposed to be an adult. Because the last story, the only thing I remember from the last story actually is that he recounts all the memories and shit from an adulthood.
Yeah. But yeah, no. I haven't seen remembering that this is 15 years old, most likely written by some kid in his underwear sitting in his mom's basement. Like that, he has at least a good selection. He has a good vocabulary.
Yep.
Anyways, there was no letter at all, just another picture.
Yep.
This one was more distinguishable, but I still didn't understand it. The photograph was angled way up, hitting the top corner of a building, and the rest of the image was distorted.
Wait. Don't tell me the building is a school.
I mean, I've been making all the jokes.
It's a photo of the schoolhouse.
Either that or his house, or it's gonna be a picture of him. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm.
Imagine later in the story, a bunch of pictures starting to be of him.
Puzzle, one of those puzzles. I was like, oh my god, it's me.
It's me. That's my house. That's my dog.
Yeah, no. Because the balloons didn't travel very far, and because they were all launched on the same day, the board had become a bit cluttered, and so the policy for the students still exchanging letters becomes they could take the photographs home. My best friend Josh had the second highest number of pictures taken home by the end of the year. His pen pal was really cooperative and sent him pictures from all around the neighboring city. Josh took home, I think, 4 pictures. I took home nearly 50.
Oh, holy Jesus.
Yeah, no, that's red flag. Of all the red flags that we've been receiving here, there's 50 of them right there. 50 creepy, out of focus, off-centered photos. Like,
Boy, nearly 50 pictures. What? That doesn't seem so much, but like imagining a person just taking a bunch of
Polaroids, by the way.
Oh, it's Polaroids.
These are those old school fucking flap out. You're not supposed to shake it, but you shake it anyways. That's gonna be a thick stack, and that's gonna
Holy
like these ain't your little printed off rinky dink. These are full on like almost industrial pictures.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I'm old enough to know what a Polaroid is, and there are people who might be watching this who have no idea what a Polaroid is. Anyways,
do you want to explain what the Polaroid is for the kids?
It's a thick ass thing of chemicals that showed your picture, and for some reason, vintage hipsters still love the shit out of them.
I love Polaroids. Accurate. Polaroid cameras is fun.
Thank you for proving my point.
The envelopes.
The envelopes were all opened by the teacher, but after a while, I stopped even looking at the pictures. However, I saved them in one of my drawers that housed my collection of rocks, baseball cards, comic book cards, Marvel metal cards. I mean, I had my own little collection. I had some Pokemon myself.
Yeah, me too.
And the little miniature baseball batting helmets that I'd get out of vending machines at Winn-Dixie after t-ball games. With the school year over, my attention turned to other things. I mean, the fact that he kept all those things, I lost every quarter machine thing I got within like 38 hours.
Yeah.
My mom had got my mom had gotten me a small snow cone machine for Christmas that year, and Josh had really coveted it. So much so that his parents got him a slightly nicer one for his birthday, which was toward the end of the school year. I mean, petty much?
Yeah.
That summer, we had the idea that we could set up a snow cone stand to make money. We thought we'd make a fortune selling snow cones at $1 each.
Oh.
I mean, lemonade stands. Around here, you might get some kind of cease and desist by someone who owns the rights to that particular brand of lemonade.
Yeah.
Uh,
But I remember
or
doing
not having proper sanitation.
I remember doing this stuff back in the days too. Being a little child, you just believed everything could be easily fixed by. Fuck! I can't speak. It's I'm. Oh, just continue.
I mean, you're making me feel less self-conscious about my stutter over here. I'll give you that.
Oh, thank you very much.
Anyways, Josh lived in a different neighborhood, but we eventually decided that my neighborhood would be better because there were a lot of people who cared for their lawns. The yards in my neighborhood were slightly bigger. We did this for 5 weekends in a row until my mom told us that we had to stop. And I've only recently come to understand why she did that. I mean, you can only get so many fines from the cops for illicit businesses.
That sounded
or
weird.
your kid also happens to have a stalker.
Yep.
On the 5th weekend, Josh and I were accounting for our money because we both had a machine. We each had a separate stack of money that we put together into one stack and then split it evenly. I mean, that's more fair than for a couple of kids. We had made a total of 16 that day, and Josh paid out my fifth. And as Josh paid out my fifth, a feeling of profound surprise consumed me. The dollar said,
"Oh shit! No, no fucking way!"
I mean, yeah, no, like
Ooh.
that was.
It was his dollar.
Yeah, no, like the implications either that traveled a lot of hands and did full circle, or that guy came by your stand.
The guy came by. Yes, we just have to.
Yeah, no, like this is a horror story. Like
Yep.
there is no. Oh, that's a coincidence. I'm like, oh, that guy came by. It's like, why is the hockey mask store suddenly sold out?
Yeah,
And suddenly
exactly.
there are a lot of dead bodies showing up. What the hell? Like, I'm sorry, but yeah. Josh
Oh wait. Was this was before Footsteps? He was 5 here,
Yeah,
right?
this is before Footsteps.
Yeah. Oh. Oh, that makes sense. Is this how he came in contact? If we say this is a stalker, is this is how he came in contact with the
Sneaks
stalker
into his room,
originally?
sneaks him out of his room, and then leaves
Yeah.
him.
Wait,
I mean,
didn't he talk about in the first story that the crawl space under his house that it made a lot of sounds and shit?
he said that his ears the pulse in his ears made him think sounded like footsteps.
Maybe it
And
was footsteps.
His mom nearly deafened him trying to stop
Yeah,
that.
you're right.
And
But yeah, that's a really fucking great build up. Damn.
yeah, no, that isn't a bad. That's not a bad full circle.
Okay.
Josh noticed my shock and asked if he had miscounted.
No. Where are we? Just kept. It was. We.
You said 4 stamps.
4 stamps.
Gosh.
Yeah. Right. Oh.
I told him about the dollar, and he said,
That's.
"Hey, that was my line."
Yeah, it was.
That's so cool, man.
I don't sound like that.
No, Josh did. Josh did in my mind.
Ah,
That's so cool,
as I thought
man.
about- As I thought about it, I came to agree. The idea that the dollar had come right back to me after changing so many hands floored me. Did it? I rushed inside to tell my mom, but my excitement, coupled with her being distracted by a phone call, made my story incomprehensible. And she responded by simply saying, "Oh wow."
My line.
Oh wow, that's neat.
I'm so dismissive. Frustrated, I ran back outside and told Josh I had something to show him. Back in my room, I opened the drawer and took out the stack of envelopes and showed him some of the pictures. I started with the first picture and went through about 10 before Josh lost interest and asked if I wanted to go play in the ditch. a dirt ditch. A dirt ditch down the street from my house before his mom came to pick him up. So we did that.
That dirt ditch have been in the both stories this far.
Yeah.
It has to. It needs to have some kind of relevance to the story.
Like that. Yeah, no, nice. We'll recircling back to the same location from a previous. We had a dirt war for a while, but it was interrupted several times by wrestling in the woods around us. There were raccoons and stray cats that lived there, but this was making a little too much noise, and we traded guesses at what it was in an attempt to scare each other. Our last guess was that it was a mummy, but in the end, Josh kept insisting that it was a robot because of the sounds that we had heard. Before we left, he got a little serious and looked me right in the eyes and said, "You heard it, didn't you?" It sounded like
the only thing I have
Speaking
in this
of robots.
video, you're taking it away from me.
Not intentionally.
You heard it, didn't you? It sounded like a robot. You heard it too, right?
Oh, I heard it, and since it sounded mechanical, I agreed that it was probably a robot. It was only now that I understood what we heard.
Oh, was it a Polaroid?
Yeah, no, I was just.
Oh.
I'm remembering some of the little bits and pieces because this is the voice. This is the one that you had me voice first. I think. And of the little bits that I did read, this is sparking memories. So yeah, no, I have a little bit of foreknowledge at this point. And some of my jokes are suddenly too accurate and son of a bitch.
That's actually cool though. It probably was a fucking Polaroid camera. What the fuck?
I didn't stay in bed for long before I crept out and decided that due to the day's events, I would revisit the envelopes since now the whole affair seemed much more interesting. I took the first envelope and set it on the floor and set the blurry desert Polaroid on top of it. I laid the second envelope right next to it and placed the oddly angled Polaroid of the building's top corner on the top and did this with each picture until they formed a grid that was about 5 by 10. I was always taught to be careful with things that I was collecting, even if I wasn't sure if they were valuable.
Yeah, that's neat.
Yeah. Oh, right.
I am actually. I'm starting to get scared here.
I mean, I already made this joke that it's gonna be a picture of him in his house. So
yep,
like I said,
you are probably right.
I didn't read all of it, but I read bits and pieces. I mean, that's kind of hard not to whenever I have a literal line in the middle of the story.
Yep.
I noticed that the pictures gradually became more decipherable. There was a tree with a bird on it, a speed limit sign, power line, a group of people walking into some building, and then I saw something that vexed me so powerfully that this guy definitely watched House. This vexes me. He's so powerfully that I can now, as I write this, distinctly remember feeling dizzy and capable of only one single repeating thought.
Why am I in this picture?
I mean,
this is this is this far into the story. I don't remember if it turns supernatural later on. I don't hope so, because this build up is great. I love these real life stories type of things.
I mean, yeah, no, I've seen enough movies that you show, being on the receiving end of the creepy stalker photos, I've seen the grid laid out, seen it all printed, like, it's me! Oh my god! Right? Or, I prefer the ones where it's, like, a script of some sort, like, oh my god, it's texts of some sort. But yeah, no, the picture of the headshot of it through your living room window is also a very good one. It's a great trope, can't go wrong. I was in every photo. That is also one of them, the collage.
Oof. Okay.
None of them were close shots, none of them were only of me, but I was in every single one of them, off to the side, in the back, bottom of the frame. Some of them only had the tiniest part of my face, captured at the very edge of the photo. But nevertheless, I was there. I was always there. I mean,
It's
what's that
this
song?
is actually even though
Always feel like
somebody's watching me. Yeah, but actually we're joking around on a bunch of it. But this is actually there's many stuff that's similar to this, so it's not new.
Yeah.
But like. This is decent story writing. This is This is a good story.
Yeah, he's hitting all the highlights. Like this is
He
I would
does.
call it paint by numbers, and that's been coming up a lot. That term's been coming a lot with me lately.
There's a bunch of missing threads this far though. But the fact that we have 4 stories left after this means there's room
there is
for
a philosophy that true horror comes from the questions left unanswered. So having some of those missing threads could be a clumsy, intentional thing that they were trying to go for. I'll at least give him that.
Yep.
Because
Anyway,
not knowing is sometimes where the terror is.
yeah, actually, I totally agree.
I didn't know what to do. Your mind works in funny ways as a kid. But there was a large part of me that was afraid of getting in trouble simply for still being up.
Wait, that's actually sad.
Since
Oh,
I already knew,
he's probably more scared of being in trouble than for his mom and stuff than the
Yeah, no,
actual
I
the
remember-
actual fear behind it.
I remember having that fear as a kid. It was more my grandmother, but yeah, no, I feel you.
Yep. Okay. I'm not gonna disturb you.
Since I
Distracted.
was already looming, feeling of having done something wrong, I decided that I would wait until tomorrow. The next day, my mom was off work and spent most of the morning cleaning up around the house. I watched cartoons, I imagine, and waited until I thought it was a good time to show her the Polaroids.
Oh.
When
Wait, something happened to the OBS. Wait a second.
take your time.
What happened?
I've heard a couple of streamers talk about giving their voice a break during their stream, and now I'm starting to understand that. God damn.
What's going on? No, that's Discord. No, what's happening? Now we have 2 of us. Let me... Oh my gosh. What's going on?
Once we get to the end of this, though, I'm gonna need to go on that soda run. My mouth is getting dry, and I don't have anything to wet it.
Yep. There, we got it again.
Alrighty then.
Alright, continue.
So, should I go deck a line to make up for anything that might have gotten lost in the glitch?
Yep, dude.
Alrighty then, I'll start at the top of the paragraph. The next day, my mom was off work and spent most of the morning cleaning up around the house. I watched cartoons, I imagine, and waited until I thought it was a good time to show her the Polaroids. When she went out to get the mail, I grabbed a couple of the pictures and put them on the table in front of me, as I was waiting for her to come back in. As I sat waiting for her to come back in, when returned, she was already opening the mail and threw some junk mail into the trash can. I mean, props to him. I think that's the first typo that I've seen in this one. I think I've tripped over a couple in the last one, so yeah, definitely improved using that autocorrect better.
Yep. Anyways, here's my lines. Okay. Mom, can you please come here for a second? I have these pictures.
Just give me a minute, honey. I need to mark these things on the calendar.
After a minute or two, she came and stood behind me and asked me what I needed. I could hear her shuffling with the mail behind me, but I just looked at the Polaroids and told her about them. As I explained more and pointed to the pictures, her forehead went...
Uh-huh.
And...
Okay.
I mean, you were complaining that they're all you have. Decreased, and she was suddenly completely quiet and only making a little noise with the mail. The next noise that I heard from her sounded as if she was trying to catch her breath in a room that had no air left in it. At last, her struggling gasps were conquered, and she simply dropped the remaining mail on the table, and ran into the kitchen to get the phone.
Mom, I'm sorry. I didn't know about these. Don't be mad at me.
When the phone was pressed to her ear, she was running back and forth and shouting into it. I nervously fiddled with the mail sitting next to my Polaroids. The top envelope had something sticking out of it, and I thoughtlessly and anxiously pulled on.
Yep.
The top envelope had something sticking out of it that I thoughtlessly and anxiously pulled on until it came out.
Wait. It is the Polaroid of them outside. It's the robot.
It's a new Polaroid.
Oh, it must
another
be.
Polaroid.
It must be. It came from the mail. It was directly from the mail.
Yeah, no, like that's.
I believe. I believe that it is the. You know the scene from earlier from the Polaroid from the outside.
Potentially.
Oof.
Confused, I thought that somehow one of my Polaroids had slipped back into the stack when she threw it onto the mail, threw the mail down. But when I turned it over and looked at it, I realized that I had not seen this one before. To my dismay, it was me. But this one was a much closer shot. I was surrounded by trees and smiling, but it wasn't just me. I noticed Josh was there too. This was us from yesterday. Yep. I mean, a little predictable if jokes from the beginning were calling it this early on.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, I can't claim too much clairvoyance because I also have a line in the middle of the story, and I can't really remember how much I read before and after that line to get into the scene. So that could be coloring my memories. I started yelling for my mom, who was still screaming into the phone. I repeatedly yelled for her until she finally responded with,
"What?
I can only think of to ask.
Who are you calling?" "I'm talking to the police, honey." "But why? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do anything."
Can you imagine thinking your mom's calling the cops like you at 5 years old?
5 years old. "I didn't mean to take these pictures, Mom. I didn't do it."
She answered me with a response that I never understood until I was forced to revisit these events from the earliest years of my life. She grabbed the envelope from off the table, and the picture of Josh and I spun and slid, landing next to the other Polaroids in front of me. She held the envelope up to my eyes, but I could only look at her and watch all of the color. I could only look at her and watch as all the color began draining out of her face. With tears welling up in her eyes, she said that she had to call the police because there was no postmark.
They were delivered by hand.
Into their mailbox.
It was delivered by hand. What the fuck? What the fuck?
I mean, yeah, no.
Damn.
I mean, I was literally joking about that from it's a good thing he didn't put their home address.
Oh yeah, that was a really good idea.
I'll follow them home from the school. There you fucking Right. So yeah, no, well written and well constructed.
Oh yeah.
Like you keep saying, good build up, but tad bit predictable if jokes that I was making offhand were that accurate. But anyways, I need to take a little bit of a break and make a quick soda
me too.
break.
I need to go to the toilet, but we'll be back in a second.